Good morning. This is the home doc. I have a rental property here that the people that are renting from me said they had very, very low water pressure on their system. So I came over here and kind of doing some troubleshooting on the system and why we don't have too much water pressure. And so when I first got here, it had about 70 pounds, 60 pounds on the gauge there, but I went ahead and drained the tank. You drain it, and then also I wanted to check to make sure the diaphragm wasn't leaking. So I opened, there's a Schrader valve up here, it's like a automobile car tire, and there was no water or anything here, so I knew the diaphragm wasn't leaking. If you see water coming out of here, that means that you have a leak. Your diaphragm and the bladder is got a leak in it. So then I took an air pressure gauge and check the air pressure on the system, but you have to make sure everything's drained first. All the water has to be, drained out of the system. You can't have any water pressure at all. So once I did that and I checked the air, and I didn't have any air pressure at all. There was nothing on the system at all. So I bet you basically have to fill and put pressure in there enough that where you want to have the cutoff or the cut on pressure, which here we want probably about 40 pounds. So you want if you want 40 pounds for the low side and then 60 for the upper side, which that's normal range. And you can tell on the tag here too, it says 40 to 60. The cut on switch, which is here, your adjustment on your switch, you want this set 40 pounds. And then for your low side and your high side, you want 60 pounds. So, but you basically on that, you have to have about 2 pounds less pressure on your tank. And so I have this little air compressor, which is a Ryobi, and I love it. It's the only bad thing is it doesn't have much volume. It has about a gallon-sized tank. This tank is probably, it needs, a right good amount of pressure in it. But, it takes a few fills. So I went ahead and started filling it. So, and I'm going to top it off. But it goes up to 100 pounds on the gauges, and it's a battery operated. So you don't have to, and it's light, So I highly recommend, something like this for doing your tires and your bicycles and doing things like this. Sometimes you don't have to have too much air on the tank, but you do need a little bit, sometimes to top it off. But when I checked it, this system, like I said, didn't have any air. The gauge that I had here, it didn't read anything. So I want to go ahead and start putting some air in here. So let me go ahead and do that. And let's see here. I want to kind of, this compressor's a little noisy. Let me move. Let me see if I can put the camera and put it like right in here so you can see what's going on here. Okay, so on top of the tank, and I got a chuck, where you fill your tires up, and then you can hear the air going into the system. And also on the compressor, you can actually look at this gauge on here. Since it's not much volume, you can tell it has your gauge, so it's basically equalizing. So the pressure in the tank and the pressure in the gallon-sized tank is going to be equal. So basically, right now, according to that gauge, it's like 30 pounds, about 30 pounds in there. So what I want to do, I want to go ahead and I want to take the chuck off the tank and let it pump up. So I get 100 pounds of pressure. And while I was doing that, I was going to tell you about this filter. I put a whole house filter in, and basically that helps because they were complaining about some mineral taste in the water and a little bit of a smell. So that has an active carbon element in it that helps eliminate the odor, and also it gets rid of the sediment. I know when I came, I just changed this filter, and it had a plastic housing, and I had to take that apart and clean it up real good and put a new filter in there. And but the old filter was in for about a year, and those are good for like 5,000 gallons of water usage. I think they said recommend change them every 3 months, well 6 months probably. But you know, these are, once a year is good. You know, if you're not using a ton of water. I mean, but so got that, and all right. So it basically clicked, so it pumped up, and I want to show you the gauges again while I'm pumping it. We're filling it here, and then we'll see it's dropping. So it's taking the air. And let it pump up again, and then I think one more time here. Once we a little more time, it'll be good. But let's see, this it's basically almost, the battery's almost empty here, so it's going to be enough to give us the charge the tank. And also another thing you want to do is make sure your well is turned off. Make sure your circuit breaker is turned off, because if you drain the water out of your system, it's basically going to keep running, because it's trying to get that pressure, because the pressure switch is going to activate your well pump, and you'll burn it up if you don't turn the power off first. So that's what I did before I started this whole process. I went over there and turned the circuit breaker off to the well. Like I say, hopefully this will help you in troubleshooting your well system, and if you have low water pressure in your house, you probably want to check that, because it definitely causes a problem, and then it will make your pump cycle more too. All right, we'll do it one more time here, and we'll see how this does. So I'm basically using this as a gauge. This makes it easier, and then also you can see it on the video easier too. So now we got pretty close to what we need. It's about close to 40 pounds. So I think what we're going to do is let it go at that. I think my compressor's about. There's an on and off switch on here too that you can cut it off. And so this, like I say, it's gonna be kind of irritating on the video, but I just wanted to kind of show you, what we're doing on this, and how to kind of troubleshoot a well pressure system, and make yourself happy, or make your renters happy. And we come out, like I said, I manage my rental houses and try to keep them maintained best I can. And if they call, I come over and take care of the problem. And a lot of times you have happy renters, you have happy landlord. So it's good. But thanks again for watching, and hopefully this, like I say, this helps you. And please subscribe to my channel, and have a great day, stay warm, and have a blessed year. Hopefully it's better than last year. 2020 was kind of rough, COVID and all that. But thanks again, and keep watching. Bye-bye.